Hi, this is Stacy with Gooseberry Bridge Farm, and today I'm going to do a day in the life-ish type video for February. So let's get started. All right, per usual, I'm starting late today. It's almost 11 o'clock. I ate breakfast, started some laundry, normal inside stuff, and then gathered all of my seeds that I need to work on. Stepped on some garbage, and I'm out in the greenhouses opening windows and vents and things. And not all of them because it is a little bit cool. I don't know what temperature it is. It's not like cold, but the greenhouses are not super hot yet. It's probably 70 inside, so I'm not going too nuts on opening the windows really fast. So I'm going to show you my pigs. Oh, that one pig is electric fence right here, so I need to not bump that. This is our boar in here. We've got two boars, so this pen, wow, this is a muddy mess. We just had a lot of snow the other day. So this is Boris and Jess. Boris has been very vocal lately. I'm not sure if he's just coming into his own. He's 2 years old. Our other boar is 4.5. He is down in that other pasture. But this is Jess. She hopefully is newly pregnant. She's only been here a couple weeks. Anyway, they have this whole area. They have a dog that lives with them, livestock guardian dog. They don't really need the protection, but we kind of want her on this corner of the farm. This is Sassy digging in the mud. She was our house piglet a couple years ago. We raised her. She's Jess's daughter, but they don't really know each other. Anyway, she's just in the mud, but she's pretty pregnant. It's February. She's due in about a month. Her belly is looking a little low, and hopefully she'll have more piglets this time. She only had 3 last time. Interesting activities over here. Anyway, so they have their space here. We have 2 other ladies and our boar down that way. So back to work. We're going back in the small greenhouse where I have most of my flower farm seedlings germinating and growing and living. Let me show you. So this is one of the things I already did today, since I'm horrible at filming what I actually do. But all of these little trays, we got down into probably the mid-20s last night. So all of these were in this box with that ceramic heat lamp, which is controlled by a Wi-Fi app or a button. I have a button under here that I can turn it on with. But I can check the temperature, which we have these little thermometers. I can show you what that screen looks like on the side here. And then, so I can check this from inside, and then I can turn that on if we need it. That way I don't have to worry about heating it when it doesn't need to be heated or if it's getting too cold. We tend to get colder than it's forecast, so I always like to keep a close eye on things. The other greenhouse has a thermostat, which I will show you in a minute. These are our new plant babies. There's some little tiny baby thyme. We've got little baby, a different kind of thyme. Nothing in that one. This is the Persian cress. It always overperforms. I've got this stack of ones that don't, like the part with the vermiculite sprinkled on top is already seeded with germinated seeds from a paper towel, and then I have these empty cells. So all of the ones in this stack have some empty cells, and I brought them over here to go in the box, but I'm gonna take them back to my workspace in the newer greenhouse. I just watered all of these this morning. I just used this lovely vinegar jug. I poured some water into this because I was drowning my seedlings trying to pour out of the gallon jug. They're just not there yet. And this jar was here. So they just got watered, so they're all kind of glistening. They tend to dry out really quickly out here when I open up the windows and the turn on the fan to keep it cool. I have some holes in my greenhouse. This is 4-year-old plastic, and I think I figured out what's happening with the holes. We had some hail damage a few years back that made dents. I'm trying to find one that shows, but they've like all turned into holes. Anyway, it made like circular dents from the hail rather, and now those places were weakened, so they are splitting. But I have some UV resistant greenhouse tape that I'm gonna tape on those holes, and then we probably can get one more year out of this, at least one. Anyway, these are straw flower seedlings. I'm just showing you because they're beautiful, and we have a lot of little scabiosa this year. These are Chinese forget-me-nots, blue and pink. And we have 0 germination on our snapdragon so far, but it's only been like 8 days. And I'm germinating them outside, so it's gonna take a bit. This is all chamomile. It likes this weather better than the snapdragons. Snapdragons don't really need heat to germinate. They do need light to germinate, but they don't really like it. It's been getting down into the 50s at night and warm during the day, and they're really wet right now because I just watered them, but nothing yet. Sometimes it takes me up to 2 weeks to get snapdragons to germinate out here, so we'll see. I've decided I'm not going to be really upset if my snapdragons don't germinate, because then I have more room for my straw flowers, because they have done fabulous this year. Okay, I'm gonna have to put the phone in my pocket to carry my little stack of trays, and I have my seeds over here, my case, and we will see what's going on at the other greenhouse. All right, so part of this time of year is having to re-hook up and turn on the hose every single day, because I have to unhook it to make sure that nothing explodes or breaks overnight when it freezes, because our hose is all on top of the ground. And then there's this one. I take off my little sprayer here every night and move it inside, because just letting the water out of it doesn't seem to be enough. I break like 20 of these a year, even with all my precautions. So we're heading over to this greenhouse. I've been calling it number 2, or the old big greenhouse. This is our 2020 model. We've got our baby plants in here, 2 little tunnels. The plan back in that mess back there is to add 2 more small tunnels, like basically extend these. That used to be our seed starting area back there, but now it is a mess. It's a mess because there was a mouse in there the other day, and I went kind of crazy chasing the mouse and made a bigger mess. But we'll clean that up and add more tunnels as needed. We also got this thing next there that looks like a mini fridge. That is a bacterial culture incubator that we use to germinate seeds. You can set the temperature, more or less. It has some strange knobs on it, and I can get it to hold at about 70 degrees 24 hours a day, even out here. So we did have that in a building before, and now we don't. So anyway, so over here we have lettuce in open, I believe these are mushroom containers. You'd see all the baby lettuce coming up. And when it gets a little bit bigger, I just kind of take all that dirt out of there and separate them and transplant the lettuce, which I recently saw something that said lettuce is not recommended for transplant and all this. Lettuce is amazing. It's amazing with transplanting. I don't know what's wrong with people. So anyway, I will take all of these and separate them into really pretty salad mixes for my CSA plant customers. And I'm gonna get some actual water to come out of my hose. It's empty, so that's just air. Anyway, over here we have our heater that is on a thermostat. It's plugged in over here, right there, which you can't see the temperatures on here, but it says it's 64. It's set to go on if it gets on to 35, and then turn off if it gets up to 45. That's just because while these are just germinating, and some of these are germinating, some of them are already out, I don't want it to freeze. And we were down in the 20s in here the other night. The lettuce had already germinated and was over there, and it was 28, and it was fine. Those are all frost tolerant varieties too, though. So over here we have some, this is actually purple cauliflower, some Napa cabbage. These soil blocks are all flowers and stuff for our vegetable garden, like these peas. The peas are trying to launch themselves out of the soil blocks. That says San Marzano, but really it's not. We were reusing tags. The other side says sugar daddy peas. This one says jalapeno, but this side says, I don't know what that is. Anyway, oh, this is just marking the end because this side is actually something else. Anyway, we have a whole bunch of status, but they're starting to pop up in these soil blocks. This one is just starting to germinate. And then some of these are bachelor buttons and more peas. Anyway, I need to water them, and that's going to be noisy. There's extra cabbage in this guy. And then we have some more trays in the other greenhouse that are incomplete. All right, welcome to my office. We have this lovely shade tent set up so I don't have to cook, sitting at the table here working on seeds. All right, so one of these days I'm gonna learn to bring a tripod to the greenhouse. I left one out here last year. So what I'm doing now is going through each paper towel. So you can't see what I'm doing, but there's paper towels in my little boxes. So I used to use baggies, which is fine. You can use a plastic baggie, but I had this extra storage box. It's kind of, the box is a little broken, but I didn't need this many for my seed, or for my seeds, like packets. If you watch my seed organization video, you'll see how I keep all my seeds. I'm trying to show you. See all those little roots? These are spinach. Yes, I could just germinate them in trays outside, but I wanted them to germinate faster, so I germinate them inside because I don't have heat mats. Not enough to do everything I do. But right now I've got an assortment of these little soil block trays. I have one that is mixed, it looks like. This looks like it has straw flowers, scabiosa, and saphinaria. I have one for sage, one for larkspur, and one for parsley. And then I've got some bigger trays for calendula, spinach. I'm like looking right at it. I can't remember. Oh, and maybe status. So, which I just showed you. I have a ton of status, but woo, yeah, the calendula needs to go. I mean, I just did this yesterday, so I do this every day this time of year. Get the seeds all germinated and moved in a timely manner, because otherwise you just never know with the weather. Trying to germinate seeds outside in the greenhouse, you really do need some kind of heat. Was agrostemma one of the ones I said no? Oh, my agrostemma is just not wanting to germinate, which it can, I mean, it doesn't like this. It would prefer to be set outside in the fall and germinate there, but I have had too many issues with fall planted stuff dying. I usually have a little tray of office supplies, so I call them. Oh, here they are. There we go. Pen. The pen doesn't actually work. This is my pen. Pencil, whatever. There's a paper towel here, and all of my little tweezers. Got the pointy ones. We've got the long pointy ones, and we've got two fatter ones. I never thought you could need so many tweezers for plants. I've got two of these little pinchy ones. So my larkspur in the paper towel, it's all stuck together, and I can't even see if anything is growing. I don't really know if this is the paper towel or something to do with larkspur seed, but I'm just spreading it out yet again, and seeing if any of them, some of them are broken open, but they don't really have a root yet, so I'm probably not going to transfer any today. Larkspur is one that I've had a really hard time germinating this way, or by putting it into trays, or really anything. I've tried just like throwing the seeds out in the beds, and I get them. Okay, let's see, Larkspur, Nigella, and Orlea. Horrible germination in any of the methods I use for anything else, but if I put them in, if I get any to grow and let them reseed, it's fine. They're fine. Then they do great. My son's walking by. I think he's playing Pokemon. All right, so finally one I can actually move. This is the sage, and I told you I have a tray here somewhere for sage. I really need 80 sage seedlings for my CSA orders and plant sale. And I have 45 right now, and then I think I'm probably gonna have to add some more seeds because these aren't germinating, but here's what they look like. A little root sticking out. I poke a little hole in the soil block and then set the root in. Here, I'll show you. Okay, let's see if I can do this. This guy. Oh, all right. Of course, it's not going to work now that I'm trying to situate the camera. Okay, so I poked a hole right here. Got to get this the right way to poke the root in the hole. Now, if you don't poke the root in the hole, especially with some of these bigger seeds, they will just jump ship. They will leave. They will end up in the cracks. They just like leap out. It's really weird. So I'll poke you in there, get you started very gently, obviously, or you end up with broken roots. Some plants, the roots break a lot easier than others. You just have to kind of learn how to handle them, but don't be afraid of them. Hope this is in focus because my eyes are not good enough to see the screen this close. I can see the seeds, but I can't see the phone screen. So after I'm done with this row, I will put little vermiculite on it so that I know where I put the seeds, and then more, uh-oh, I dropped it. More will germinate tomorrow. Usually, I probably need to add some more to this tray, and then we will add more. We're all done in the greenhouse for today. I know it looks like we're visiting piglets.
Me?
Yep. Does it look like you're visiting piglets?
A little bit.
But we're really checking on daffodils. So these are our daffodil patch that we use for our U-pick flower farm. You can see there's a row here. There's a really nice patch right there. There's some new stuff I planted next to that. There's another row. There's another row, and there's one there. So they are coming along. This is great for February. We mowed this late after we had a really late, really cold stretch after being warm, and so here, let's see if I can find some of the damage I'm looking for. Like these guys came up early, and so they got froze pretty bad on the ends, and some of them were really tall, and there was lots of weeds in here, so we mowed everything. It worked on some of them. Like these guys had bad ends, and they all got chopped off by the mower. It was really handy. So it wasn't really my intention. I really thought the mower would go over them, but it mowed a lot shorter than I was expecting, and that's what we got. Here you go. You can see these now. I don't know. If you don't know what you're looking for, I guess you can't see them, but and this section looks really good. They bloom at different times, so it's normal for them to come up at different times. This is a section that I just replanted this year. You can see them coming up. So I think it's gonna be lovely. Jeremy's over there on the tractor. You can't really see what he's doing, but he's laying mulch in the area that we cleaned in the driveway yesterday. The tractor's probably pretty loud on here. We're gonna go spread some mulch. It's kind of like a flower bed, but not really. I do have one variety of daffodils here at the end now. That is really more of like a southern variety. It doesn't really like our winters, and then this year it really didn't like our winters. That's it. They're like just like complete mush. It doesn't even. This cat. I don't even know if they'll all make it, but they. And there's some here. Dude, he's so pushy. There's another one of the really dead ones. Like when they just get brown on the top, that's fine, but when they are mushy all the way down into the ground, they don't always come back from that.
Yes, but there isn't one.
All right, we are spreading this mulch over this area, which looks like lawn, but it's actually a milkweed patch in the summer. And the milkweed will come up through this, no problem. It's pretty crazy stuff. It's common milkweed that we have that grows out here. And we also have a patch of daffodils that you can see there by Annie's feet. There's a tree that just sprouted here 2 years ago. It's a mulberry. So we're leaving that. And then we did have rocks and mulch around here once upon a time, but we're just going to incorporate this all together, because what happened was a few years ago I planted a tiny little milkweed plant right there, and now it's taken over this whole area, which is good because the monarchs love milkweed. But we're trying to kind of keep the whole area from looking quite as wild. And we got all this mulch from a local tree company, so we're just trying it out. All right, all mulched and neat looking, at least for now, until everything starts to come up. Right, Teddy? So one thing we've been doing with this is pulling out all of the Johnson grass roots. If you're not familiar with Johnson grass, I'm happy for you. They make these. Can you hold one of them up, Teddy? They spread by these, I believe they are rhizomes. That's kind of a small one. Pick up one of the big ones, buddy. They're growing in our, there we go, our compost pile over there, which is really unfortunate. But the compost pile is right next to the mulch pile where we have the tree company dump the wood chips. Anyway, we're trying to pick them all out because one little bit of one of those roots will grow a new plant, and they're just horribly invasive and annoying. But if you mow them, they die, so that's helpful. But so if you live somewhere where you mow all your grass, you probably don't have to deal with Johnson grass. But the other issue with Johnson grass is once it frosts, if it's in your pastures, it can kill your livestock. If it's just a light frost, it just or if there's a drought, makes toxins, and I don't know, it's horrible. See a goat out there acting kind of funny. I might have to go out and check out the goats. She's looking like she's in heat, but she's supposed to be due in 2 weeks, so that's weird. She's probably just being weird because she has an udder and everything.
Clean up well.
Okay, I'm taking a video now, Rob, apparently. Hi. So we finished the mulch and then decided while the tractor was on, and this is a tractor we are borrowing, and we've never had a compost pile produce anything before, but we cleaned out the goat barn this summer and dumped all the hay and poop and all of that in a pile with some topsoil that was from our driveway project, and it produced this kind of hay compost dirt mixture. Looks pretty fabulous. We're trying to rake it out, but it's really wet. I took a break, so Bentley's helping. I think we're good now. These are full. Last summer we filled these with the driveway project soil and some rabbit poop and chicken poop, and we grew 100 pepper plants in these 2 beds. So now we have actual good dirt in them. I'm not sure what we're gonna grow.
Can we grow like squash?
We could grow squash. Teddy suggested squash too, so maybe that's the answer. All right, so now it's time to pack up here and check the weather to make sure there's not going to get too cold tonight. We have some really weird weather in our forecast. I'll show you a screenshot of that here. Annie's here.
Hi.
Here, Annie.
Thank you.
Welcome. Okay, no, hey, don't just leave. Annie just showed up, so I'm recruiting her help carrying some trays places, but then I can't use the phone. So on the weather thing, we have a 28 degree or 38 degree high. Let me put this down here, and a 70 degree high, both in our 10-day forecast. So that's just crazy. Here is the box. It has a heater. I've got to check every one of these and put them back in the box now that it's like 4:30. I don't like having to do this really late. I wonder if I can put this up here. I should really bring a tripod. There we go. Now you guys got the good view. So these are the ones I just brought from the other greenhouse. Some of them will have to go back there tomorrow, but these are not growing. I try to put the ones that don't have any plants at all in them toward the bottom of the stack so that they aren't losing any sunlight, because there's a window that goes on the top of this, and it will let in some light tonight and in the morning before I get here. So I don't come out here very early. I also kind of like to keep things together, but there's really no good reason for that at this point since I move them every single day. All right, so that was the second time in here watering today. Everybody in here is watered. We've got the second tunnel going. The rabbits were in here a few weeks ago and chewed up this tunnel. Our rabbits, intentionally in here because it was warmer for them. So we set up a little rabbit camp in here, like when it was really, really cold. And so trying to decide what to do with all of this. This side is set, ready to go. The thermostat's on. I cannot remember how I set this up last year when I had 2 of those heaters, but I don't have 2 anymore because I had 1 on each tunnel. So I'm gonna have to come up with some other emergency heat source for this side, because where tonight's supposed to be 39, tomorrow's supposed to be 20, and that's just colder than I really want all these new babies, even though some of them would be fine. But that'll freeze solid in here if I don't add some heat. That'll freeze all the dirt and everything, and they'd probably be okay if I did like a layer of frost cloth and then the plastic without the heat, but I just can't risk it. All right, pretty boring looking, but here we have mostly closed the tunnels. Pretty sloppy job. You can see gaps and whatnot because I'm not worried about it actually being cold tonight. Now, we usually get 10 to 5 to 10, 15 degrees colder than is forecast this time of year, but trying to awkwardly hold all the things. Match the door. Anyway, that's why we have a thermostat. Okay, it's 5:15. 5 o'clock, we go for a walk. So I am wrapping up everything out here. Annie's helping still. We unhooked the hose. I got the seeds to go back to the house. We're gonna come see what's going on over here. What's up, boys?
The hoses leaking.
Okay. Can you turn it off for a second? Got it?
Yes, totally off.
Is Bentley trying to use it?
Yes.
And you put it on here?
Yeah, I put it on, like, I'm twisting it the right way with all my left.
Yeah, I think we just got it off a little on the,
Oh,
or maybe we're missing a washer. No, the washer's there, but it was like bent. Oopsie, seriously? Look at it. And in the grass. Okay.
just another long way. Yeah. I always think before I like these guys.
Hold on. Why are you? You don't have to turn it on yet. I just have to get it wiggled on. It's all wet, which is not helping. Do you usually hook it on yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, try it now.
Watch out. No.
Victory. All right.
Oh, it's like there.
Oh, good girl.
Say hi, Freya.
Freya visiting Rosie. Gonna sniff her eye.
Kind of young. She's gonna be